Hi all, if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira, and today guys, I have two things here that I am, well, more than two, a collection of things that I am very excited to try and very excited to show you. You may have seen these all over the YouTubes, but I just received mine in PR and I am so excited to show them to you, so let's get into it. All right, so first, I'm just going to show you this and then you'll kind of know. It is the Salt New York and Louise Poston collab. I am so excited, you guys, to show you what I got from the collection in PR. I picked up I chose two of the sort of like palettes, so to speak, of the collection. There's three. There's a light, medium, and deep. I chose light and medium. I thought about getting deep, but I knew I wouldn't get use out of the highlighter specifically because it's a little too deep for me. But I knew that I could get use out of the other two, so I chose those two as my picks. And so let me show you the first one. So this is the light palette. Look how beautiful this is. And yes, these shades are light, but these shades I'm really intrigued in as far as putting on my cheeks and my lips. Like that's like what I'm excited to try. And then the medium, which I'm also excited to try on my cheeks and my lips. Look at this, and look at this highlighter. Both of the highlighters, you all, are so yummy. So let me swatch the light palette first. So let me just dip my little thingies in here. And I just want to show you how soft and pretty these are. So look at that, how stunning those are. My goodness. All right, so let me tell you what each shade is now that I've shown you what they look like on the back of my fingies. So this one here is Old Gum. And if you know Hannah, this has been her obsession for many moons, is a shade like this one. This is Old Gum. She says she wanted she's always talked about wanting a shade that resembled like old gum. And so of course she had to have made a shade called Old Gum. This is what it looks like. I'll swatch it one more time for you. This is what it looks like. So pretty. The next shade, if I can get it out of the palette, there we go, is called Waxwing, and this is what it looks like. So pretty. And that is Waxwing. And on like the back, like on my fingers, these are looking more pink than they actually are. They're actually quite, as you can see here, quite gray toned. So just to give you a heads up on that. And then the next one is Teasel, which looks like that. And I will swatch this on my pinky as well. Looks like that. And that is Teasel. That is going to look so pretty on my lips. All right. And then the next one is, and of course I did not bring a Kleenex over here to like wipe my thingies off. Next one is the highlighter in the light collection. And this is a new formula. So this is not the same formula that you normally get from Salt. So this is Nimue. That's what it looks like. It's so funny because I know this name, but whenever I see it, it always throws me off because the spelling of it is, oh my God, look how pretty that is. That I think I'm going to put on my brow bone. That is stunning. All right, so that is the light collection. And then let me swatch the deep collection for you, or the medium collection rather. So this is Orchid. How pretty is that? And if you didn't watch Hannah's video, all of these shades are essentially designed to look the same to sort of translate to different skin tones. So as this would look a specific way on a light skin tone, this is supposed to sort of give the same vibe on a medium skin tone. So this is what it looks like on my finger. This is what it looks like swatched here. This is so pretty. And honestly, guys, you know, after I decided not to get the deep one, I did sort of like question my choices. So who's to know, I might eventually pick up a couple of the shades from that collection, just not the highlighter. And so this one is Aniseed, and it looks like this. How stunning is that? I'm gonna swatch that with my little fingy. Looks like that. Looks like that. And as you can see, these are deeper. Of course, my camera's like struggling to see my face now. These are deeper, but they have the same sort of vibe and undertone of that slightly like grayed out, muted vibe. This is Oyster Fig. So stunning. And it looks like that. So that is Oyster Fig. And then finally we get to the highlighter, which is Sybil. And this is what it looks like. And it has, of course, a little bit more gold to it than Nimue does. But, and it doesn't resemble, if you have warm tan from Salt, it does not resemble that. I might take a few pictures and insert them just to do a comparison so you guys can see, because it's not the same. It's not the same. And this is very wet looking. This is incredibly, like, this has a lot of impact for the formulation. So let's see what I want to play with first. I think I'm going to go into the light collection, and I think I'm going to play with Waxwing a little bit, just to see how it looks on my skin, because these types of shades can go one of two ways on me. And just to give you an idea, my skin is neutral with like yellow, golden, almost olive undertones. So these shades don't necessarily look bad on me, but they aren't necessarily for my skin tone. So I'm going in with Waxwing at the top here. Oh, that actually looks really pretty. Okay. I actually kind of love that. It is, of course, going to be much softer on me because it is of a lighter tone. But I just wanted to see what I would get from that. And I'm actually quite happy with that. Like, if you're going for like, if you're my skin tone, if you're going for a more like natural look, but doesn't look blushy, this looks really nice. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, I want the other cheek, and I'm going to even them out before I go out because I do have to go to work this morning. I think I'm going to go into, I think I'm going to go into Oyster Fig on the other side. And actually, no, I'm not going to go into Oyster Fig on that side. I'm going to put Oyster Fig here, and then I can even, that'll make it easier to even them out before I leave. Oh, look at that. I'm just going to do that a little bit because I kind of picked up a lot on my brush. And I'm using one of the Phytosurgeon's brushes, which unfortunately, if you live in the US, you can no longer get. Thanks, tariffs. So yeah. And also, if you hear my tummy, it's like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm a little hungry now. I need a little brekkie, you know. So that's what, oh, look how pretty that is. And I actually really like how Waxwing is a little bit lighter, and so the color is like more intense here. I actually don't mind that. That's really pretty. Should I do, I mean, I'm fine with having mismatched cheeks, and it's not going to look that, because these tones are so natural. They're not like a bright pink or like a, you know, a shade that is not going to be of the skin. I don't really think that I have to worry, and I do have a little bronzer on as well, but I don't think I have to worry about them looking strange next to each other. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go into, do I want to do Orchid, or I think I want to do Orchid. So I'm going into Orchid, and this is in the medium deep palette, and I'm going to put that here. Oh, look how pretty that is. And this does go a little more red toned on me because of my skin tone. So now I kind of want to go into, let me see here. Now this old gum might be a little too light for me. It might actually be a little too light for me, but we're going to see. So I've wiped my brush off. I'm going to take a little bit of old gum. It is, but it isn't. Like, that's giving color. Do you see that? I'm just putting that like right here. We'll get there, but I'm putting a little bit of this here, and I actually really like that. It's super soft though. And actually, because these shades are not like a bright pink or something like that, they are really blending into my skin beautifully. So I don't feel like they look mismatched in any way. They actually look quite pretty. I think someone would have to be really have an eye to be like, are you wearing 4 different types of blush? But look, I'm actually surprised at how pretty this Ogum looks on my cheeks. Like, it's like, I feel like this is the shade I'm gonna wear when I want something like a little bit of color, but not a lot, where it's like, you know, that sort of like, is she wearing makeup? Is she not wearing makeup? Because it gives my, as you can see, this gloss, this like glow that it gives my skin, I'm actually really happy with. Okay. Okay, Old Gum, I see you. That's actually really, really pretty. Okay, so let's look at the highlighters. And for the highlighters, I've decided that I want to use Nimue on my brow bone. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that with the brush that I used to apply. And I'm wearing a little bit of liquid eyeshadow. I'm using a really, really old liquid eyeshadow today, guys. I'm using my Too Faced Melted Chocolate Matte Eyeshadow. I'm trying to pan this. This is like the clown car of liquid eyeshadows. I've had this for literally years, and it's just now getting to the point where I feel like it's almost empty. But I'm using it because I wanted to like get some use out of it. So I'm just gonna put this on my, and actually let me use my mirror so I can see where I'm placing this. I'm just gonna put a little bit of Nimue on my brow bone. And I'm just blending that. That's really pretty. And then I'm gonna do the other side. And I will say one thing I feel about this is that I do feel like, because the formula is slightly different, I feel like I pick up a little bit more on the brush than I would with like the traditional salt formulation of their highlighters. That's really pretty. All right, so now I want to take a little bit of Sybil, and I'm going to take this brush, and this might be too dense, but I'm going to try it anyway. And I'm going to put this on my cheeks. I'm just dipping in, and then I'm going to just apply that all right here. Oh, that's so pretty. And this is a really dense brush. I just grabbed it because it was like close by. Stunning. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I haven't been wearing a lot of highlighter lately because I just haven't. But this is actually really pretty. And what I'm liking is as I blend it in, it kind of just marries with the blush quite nicely. So I don't feel like it's, and that's part of the reason why I haven't been, because I just feel like I've been wanting more of a natural looking base. I've been wearing a lot of my Salt New York blushes, a lot of my Phytosurgeons blushes. Yeah. But look how pretty that is. Like, this is me applying it to my nose. And as you can see, it just gives that kind of like wet, sheeny look. And you have some color, but it's not like highlighter, you know, it's just really like wet and beautiful. And it just makes your skin look really healthy. I like that. And I like the contrast here because I like the idea of this being just a little bit brighter than the cheeks. Up along my chin too. So you just look really like, oh, I like that so much. All right, so let's try this on my lips. I'm going to take my lip balm off and we're going to try one of the colors on my lips. I don't know if I'm going to wear these on my lips. I have another new product for my lips that I want to try, but we'll see. I might just test these out and we'll see how it works out. One sec. All right, so I have wiped off my lip mask and I want to go into, I think I want to go into, for the lips, I'm either going to do Aniseed because it's a little bit deep, or if I want to go a little bit lighter, Oyster Fig. But I think I'm going to go with Aniseed. You know what? Let's do both. Let's try both. Why not? We're going to try both, see what both of them look like on the lips, plural, and see how it goes. Yeah, I figure aniseed is going to be a little bit, or oyster fig, excuse me, was going to be a little light, a little sheer on my lip, which I'm not mad at, but I want a little bit more color today on my lip. Yeah, that's pretty though. So this is oyster fig. So let's try aniseed. I'm going to wipe oyster fig off. Okay, and now let's try aniseed. Also, guys, if you hear like a sound in the background, I live in an apartment with radiator heating and I can't turn it off, so it just, the sound is the sound. I'm sorry. It's officially cool here in Chicago, although we had a 65-degree Friday, so, and a snowstorm on Monday, that last Monday. So this is aniseed. Now, I think with these tones, oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm tempted to try one of the lighter tones on my lips just for funsies. I think I'm going to put aniseed back on, but I just want to see what this particular shade looks like on my lips because I'm intrigued by it. So this is, I'm going to try Waxwing. I think it's going to be very great on my lip, but you know, YOLO. It's just color. I can wipe it off. Yeah, it's a little eyelet. And also keep in mind I have very pigmented lips. Like this is my natural lip tone. And so anything that I put on it without using like a lip liner or a MAC lip erase or something like that, my colors are gonna fight against it. I don't actually hate this though. Like with a lip liner, like a cool tone lip liner, this kind of reminds me of one of the tones of a Pat McGrath lipstick I had. I don't know if I still have it. I may have decluttered it. I may have gotten old. And also like one of the MAC criminal shades, in the sense of like that sort of like old school 90s kind of lip, which I've been loving lately. So I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I don't think it goes with what I'm trying to do here, but I don't hate that. All right, let's try, now I kind of want to try a couple more of them on my lips. Why not? If I can get this out. All right, this is Orchid. A little bit more on the sheer side on my lips. And I think if I got some of the tones from the Dive collection, I would have more pigment. It would, of course, be deeper and richer on my lips because the tones are deeper and richer. That's not bad though. I like that. Again, I like all of these, but I think all of them for me, I would have to wear with a lip liner, just to give a bit more. That's, oh, I actually. Oh, now I don't know. Should I do this one or should I do Orchid or Aniseed? I don't know. I'm like looking at it, just trying to decide. Oh, I really like that though. First of all, these feel fantastic on the lips, guys. They're like so creamy, and I have to admit, I don't generally use my Salt New York colors on my lips. I love them as blushes. So it's just really my first time trying this formula on my lips, and I'm like, oh, that's actually quite nice. I actually really like that. Maybe I'll keep this one on. What do you guys think? Instead of aniseed, I actually quite like this. I'm wearing a very bright colored sweater, so I don't necessarily need anything that's gonna like, you know, fight against that. But I really like that. This is so pretty. Okay, so I'm actually really happy with this. My makeup is really natural. It is Monday when I'm filming this. I tend to go quite natural on Mondays when I'm getting ready for work. I don't usually have a lot of time to do more. And so I like a more like my skin looking great, but not, and I usually have, like, I have a skin tint on, I have concealer on, I have bronzer on. So I have a full face. I have a little bit of mascara on. I have a full face of makeup on right now, but it's very like toned down and soft and glowy. And this is kind of the vibe that I generally like on days when I can't do like something super colorful. And some days I don't want to do something super colorful. Like, I mean, this is sort of what my makeup style is 80% of the time. It's this. So this, for me, this collection is quite lovely because I like the fact that everything is sort of like here, you know. I like that it's just, and I can put and then if I want to dip and get more contrast, I have this one, the light one. So yeah, I think I might pick up some of the deeper shades just for funsies for the lips. Now that I've tried these on my lips and I really like the way they feel, I think I might do that. I think I might. And also it comes with you can buy the colors separately, but I do recommend getting the like case because you can just pop them in and they're just really easy to work with. And just so you know, guys know, I mean I've talked about Salt New York on my channel many times. They're one of my go-to brands. The owner, Kiki, is a friend of mine, so I'm not saying that as biased. I'm really not. Her products are fantastic, and it's, for me, as someone who is friends with Kiki and friends with Hannah, I love them both dearly, and I was so excited to see them collab together because their points of view about makeup are very similar, and Kiki has such an eye for color and undertones, and so does Hannah. And I think that this was sort of like a match made in heaven, to create something that is very much like Hannah's aesthetic now. You know, I started watching Hannah many moons ago, and then we became friendly over those years. And she's such a lovely human being. And so is Kiki. Kiki, I love you. You know how much I love you. That I just was really excited for this collab for a multitude of reasons, because two of my faves are collabing together, but I also knew that it was kind of going to be fire, and I was correct. So yeah, so this collection is still available. You can go onto the Salt New York website. I left a link down below. I do have an affiliate link, so if you would like to save some money on your order, you can use that link. I do get a small commission from that if you do. But this is a limited edition or sort of kind of collection. And what I mean by that is it is not around forever, but the response to it is what's going to sort of let them know how long to keep it around. And from what I understand, the response has been insane. So go on the website. If you have a deeper skin tone than me, take a look at the deep colors. I will try to put up pictures of what the deep tones look like. You can also see them here. So this is the light, this is the medium, and this is the deep. These are the two tones that I'm like, maybe I should get these. So stunning. And I love the artistic like direction of the pictures. Hannah chose all of these names and all of the pictures to sort of represent each color, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So you've got the light, the medium, and the deep here, and it's just the aesthetic is just chef's kiss. So yes, collection is still available. Go on the Salt New York website, decide what you want. I think the pricing is Salt is very affordable in my opinion, especially when you compare it to current prices for even drugstore makeup. So I think one of these total is, I think, $60 or $64 for the entire collection of, you know, like all four. But you can also buy them individually. So if you like some of the shades in these, but not all of them, you can buy them individually. You don't have to spend all of your, you know, buy the whole thing just to get one shade. It's not that type of collection, which is fantastic. And you can mix and match. So if there's shades from the light that you like, shades from the medium that you like, shades from the deep that you like, you can purchase all of them individually from each other and plop them in a case, or if you already have a case at home, you know, plop them in one of your Z palettes or your empty palettes that you already have. All right, guys, so yes, that is everything for today. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this collection? What do you think of this look? It's super natural, but that's not supernatural, but supernatural. But that's kind of what I've been living. This is the life that I've been living lately. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of these colors? What do you think of this collection? And I will see you in the next one. Bye now.